Hi, and welcome to Living Title IX with Betsy. That's me. This week we have an amazing special guest. I am so excited to introduce you to KeKe Swinton. She is an absolute amazing asset to ICS as a community partner and a member of our Leadership Council and just a rock star in the Title IX world. But first, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll get into some really great stuff. So, KeKe, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. First, I want to say thank you for having me. I am KeKe Swinton. I'm the Director of Employee Services and Title IX Coordinator for Beaufort County School District. I have been in the Title IX world since I was voluntold in 2021 and I feel like I've grown a lot with the partnership that I have with ICS, my ability to support my district and make sure that we're adhering to this federal law and doing all we can to just create access within our community for our students and staff members has changed a lot since 2021. And I'm just excited to even be invited to participate with you, Betsy, and just appreciate the partnership that we have with ICS. So thank you for having me.
KeKe, I am absolutely honored to have you. We are going to roll through some of the amazing things that you're doing within your district, and can't wait to visit you in just a couple of weeks. Yeah. As one of my favorite portions of the entire year, travel events for the year. Your team is great, but you kind of started as a one-woman shop and have really grown your district and their compliance, and almost you've taken it personal to make it your priority to get this done. So can you just tell us a little bit about how you've done that and what you're proud in where your district is right now?
Sure. So I will say from 2021, I think I spent the first year just trying to really build my own capacity with regard to the knowledge of what is needed for our district with regard to Title IX. How can we best serve our community for this program? I will say that having the support of Ms. Alice Walton, who is our Chief of Administrative and Human Resources Services, the person who volunteered me for this work, having her support and being able to provide the information that is necessary to be able to support our school district has really helped a lot. My biggest focus has been on building capacity. So every school year, I try to focus on making sure that we are touching as many people as possible when it comes to knowledge about Title IX. So my first role was to make sure that I built my own capacity, and then I was able to build a team here at the district level to build their knowledge with regard to Title IX, because it was not something that was a part of any of our journey. It was just something that kind of was new to all of us, but it was important that we recognized it in our everyday work and that we did the necessary steps to be able to make sure that we had reporting mechanisms, that we were able to respond appropriately to staff members and students when they needed support with regard to Title IX. From there, we continue to build. So we now have staff members at each school that are identified as Title IX investigators. Those individuals have been trained by you guys, thankfully, over the last 3 years. And we continue to do that. Just last year was the first year that we actually expanded who we brought into the conversation in our training. And so we trained our high school and middle school athletic directors as Title IX investigators as well. We want to continue to build that capacity. I had a conversation this summer with a member of one of our charter schools that's located here in Beaufort County, not necessarily a part of Beaufort County School District, but one of the members within our community, have introduced him to ICS, and we'll include him in our training, because what we want to do is be able to serve within our community to make sure that, one, we're consistent in our practices, that we're responding appropriately to these situations, and being able to support our students and staff.
Goodness gracious, that is so much and such awesome work. I love when you use the term access and when you're talking about your students and making sure, because we know that's like the fundamental basic principle of Title IX and really the other civil rights laws as well, as we're implementing them in our schools. So amazing. You mentioned athletics a little bit. I know, because I work with you all often, that you are doing some really cool stuff in the athletic space, bringing that conversation to the forefront. And having an amazing deputy there. So will you tell us a little bit about that work as well?
Sure. So I work closely with Dr. Carlos Cave, who is our director of district athletics. He and I realized that over the process of doing this work, there were equity in athletics issues that had not been a part of the conversation. We had an opportunity, of course, with the support of Ms. Walton, to be able to go out and seek an opportunity to go and do audits within our high schools to make sure that the work that is being done is compliant and that it meets the needs of our students. So that's where we have continued to grow and just, we're fortunate. He has really been a willing participant and has prioritized this. So every year, 3 times a year, he hosts a coaches convocation. And so this is an opportunity for us to provide information directly to our coaches. We host it in person in August and then twice in the fall and in the winter and the spring seasons. We host it virtually to be able to provide information. And so I've been a part of that every year for the last 2 years, being able to share information with regard to Title IX. One of the biggest things that we want to make sure that we are preparing our coaches to do is to provide information to them with regards to supervision. That's where a lot of issues we tend to run into when it comes to athletic issues is the lack of supervision. So we want to make sure that we're providing that information to our coaches, and that's kind of where we're trying to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that one thing that you all call your walkthroughs maybe is equity walks, or at least I believe you call them equity walks. And it's something
Yes,
that
that's
we
correct.
we've adopted that as well at ICS. And that's thanks to you all, because I think it's just a great term. And it's really what we're doing as we're going and evaluating those spaces and checking for the equity pieces. And while you're doing that, checking on how are we supervising these areas, these locker rooms, these places to prevent not only sexual misconduct or harassment, but also hazing, right? Like these things all go hand in hand. And I am hopeful that other schools will hear you doing this and taking that ownership of that portion of the house of Title IX, because I told in our webinar the other day that I think this is the area that this Department of Education is really going to harp down on, is equity in athletics and making sure that we're providing that. So y'all are just absolutely rocking it.
Thank you. I think one of the first things is being willing to accept and acknowledge that there may be areas that you need to build and focus on. And so for us, it's pulling back the covers and saying, okay, where do we need to make sure that these issues that we're running into that sometimes may not even realize that our school administrators deal with, they may not even realize is a Title IX issue. The supervision within athletics is one of those things. They usually have just let the athletic director and the coach deal with it, not realizing that this is something that may need to be bumped up to the district level. And so what we're trying to do is just make sure that by building the capacity of our folks, making sure that they have the knowledge to be able to say, I understand that we have to have this conversation, but this is much bigger than just a discipline issue. So as you always tell us, high kick it. Well, sometimes it's got to be high kick to the district office as well. And so that's really what we're about, is just making sure that, we uncover the things that need to be addressed, because at the end of the day, we want to give our student athletes the best experience. I know Dr. Cave is dedicated to that. And so I'm fortunate to have the team that I work with. We're constantly having conversations. How can we continue to build on what we've already done? We just don't want to be complacent in this work.
Just amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your wonderful knowledge and what you've done. And I think I would love to schedule regular conversations with you to hear how it's going and to continue to highlight your initiatives and the amazing work that you're doing. So thank you for this. I'll see you soon. And
Yes,
yes, and I'm so glad to introduce you to our entire viewership at Living Title IX. So for those of you who don't know KeKe, now you do, and she is an awesome resource and a really big ICS supporter. So we are so grateful for that. A couple of things before we close out. I want to make sure to do a couple of reminders. So I know KeKe has a mug. Make sure that you comment mugshot or hashtag mugshot on any of the areas that we are sharing this. So LinkedIn, Instagram, where else are we sharing it? On YouTube. It's everywhere. Comment, and we will make sure to get you a mug. And we're highlighting our amazing mugshot member this week. It is so fun to see your faces with our amazing Title IX hearts and mugs and all the things. So that's super fun for us. And then before we sign off, remember to laugh at yourself, support each other, and celebrate the small victories, because they are worth celebrating. So thank you. And KeKe, thank you again.
Thank you, Betsy, for the invite. I'll see you soon.
Yes, see you soon. And then everyone else, have an amazing week. We'll catch you next time. Bye.